And as we mentioned at the start of the show, prolific football writer Ken Piesse has brought out another couple of books, and looking forward to those. He launched those at Beaumaris Football Club last Saturday. Terry O'Callaghan was there to catch the story.
I've been down here since Beaumaris actually started, 1963. Next year we're 50 years old. I was down here tagging along with my brother, always having a lot of fun. Played under 13s up. We played under 17s flag and our Lightning Premiership that year under Ted King, our great coach, and then in the seniors under Jerry Callahan, 1977, when I had a big year, first ruck against Eddie Muley, and we got over the line when it counted. It was a lot of fun.
Now, being involved at a suburban club in your younger days, is this what led to your love of writing about sport and following that sort of career?
Oh yeah, well I was a local boy, and on Saturday mornings, those crisp July Saturday mornings, from where I lived, it'd be foggy, and you'd actually hear the siren at 9 o'clock for the under-13s to start, and I'd be across there like a flash. So that was, Mum was happy. I was over the footy club all the rest of the Saturday. So yeah, you could get a great love of Bowie, of our particular local club. And there was an anecdote there that I told just inside before about Frank Reid, our first premiership coach in 1965, and he was very unhappy this particular day about the way the team was playing. A three-quarter time with Beaumaris down against Sandown, he told this story about how it was all team, not I, and he literally got this jumper off the back of one of the players, just tore it off. He said, "This is what you're playing for, this!" It was fantastic, and I was only 9 years old at the time, and I was just amazed at this passion. But Beaumaris and every local club have their local stalwarts. Frank Reid, Ted King, they were two of my favourites.
This leads on because there's another special event today that you're actually launching your two latest books.
Yeah.
But one of them in particular is Football Legends of the Bush.
Yeah.
Now, is this what inspired you, those sort of characters?
Oh yeah, but in particular, as a young boy, I'd go up to Corowa on holidays, and we met Peter Chisnell, who went on to play at North Melbourne, and my grandma would get meat off Peter Chisnell, and Mrs Thomas always reserving the best pieces of meat for you, he'd say. And he went down to North Melbourne, played in their first premiership, and so Peter Chisnell is down at the Tungamar Hotel running that. So he and I, we've been mates for years, and so in sport, there's not too many bad eggs in sport. You build up a great rapport with so many people. So I've been lucky, and I'm a storyteller. I love listening to stories. I love telling them. So yeah, today this is the first launch of not only Football Legends of the Bush, but Great Australian Football Stories that Alan Jeans has been involved with too. He wrote the foreword for the first, and he lent me some letters for the last one. I was with him just 4 weeks ago, before he died, and we had such a lovely time. He was telling anecdotes, big firm handshake. His body was closing down, but he never forgot his mates. That was why he was so loved. And for me as a writer, so privileged not only to know the stars, the local legends here at Beaumaris, but the stars like Barras and Jeans and Kanga Kennedy. It's a very fortunate life I'm leading.
Now, with a lot of these legend things in the book, how did you manage to source most of the stories?
Well, people like Jason Mifsud, for example, coach of Beaumaris, great premiership coach last year. They won the flag from nowhere last year at Sandy. At Koroit, he won a similar premiership at Koroit in his last year there. He kicked 7 goals straight himself from full forward, and they came from nowhere. They were 8 goals down at half-time, yet they won this Hampton League premiership. So to know Jason, to know the influence and what he does here at Beaumaris, and to know what he has done previously in the bush, just adds an extra element for me. But yeah, I've done a lot of miles travelling around, seeing the Neville Hogan types up at Wangaratta Rovers, through to some of the stars of the Wimmera, like an Ian Morgan. The only player Bobby Davis ever missed out on in his life recruiting was Ian Morgan at Rapania. Was a bush star. Doug Wade, Roy West, these sort of boys, fantastic guys. Always got time. It's amazing with the great people in life, they've always got time to stop and say, "How are you going, Ken? And how's your family?" Really important.
Good to hear about the new books, which I'm looking forward to grabbing a copy myself. And thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure. And for people struggling to get the books, they're called Football Legends of the Bush or Great Australian Football Stories. They're at the shops, or my website, cricketbooks.com.au. Cricketbooks.com.au, very easy.